Hey, welcome to another episode of Eric's Camping Adventures. Today we are doing some modifications to the Honda Pilot, and I'll show you what I'm thinking. So my headlight assembly lens is oxidized on the inside. I have cleaned the outside and it is nice and clean, but the inside requires you to separate the lens from the assembly and work on the inside. That is a lot of work, and I found a much better way to do it to clean these up. So on camera these actually don't look too bad because the outside is clean, but the inside is oxidized, so it's a little bit tricky. But today I'm just going to show you in this short video how to change out your headlamp assembly and do so without ruining anything. To do this job, you're going to need a flathead screwdriver to do your pop-up clips, a 10mm socket to undo some bolts. You'll need a Phillips head screwdriver to undo just 4 little screws, and you are ready to go in terms of tools, very common tools. You will need to have just a little bit of visual spatial planning and a little bit of patience to figure out how things fit together, but the whole job took me just about an hour. It probably is recommended that you have 2 people to support removing the front clip, because you've got your bumper sensor and then your fog lights, and it would be easy if you did this too quickly to maybe pull on those wires inappropriately. I was able to do one at a time and leave the other side clipped, and then disconnect the fog light and the bumper sensor in sequence. You can see on the base of the headlight assembly there is like a honeycomb bracket that I'm undoing with a 10mm socket right now. That bracket is going to later be removed and put onto the new headlight assembly. It does require just a little bit of patience to remove the hookups from the bulbs inside the headlight assembly. You've got like your marker, your high beam, your low beam, and your turn signal. So just be careful disconnecting them. Make sure you don't pull on the wires to loosen them from the fixtures, and you'll be good to go. Removing that bracket at the base of the headlight assembly is very simple with, again, a 10mm bolt, and then you are ready to go with the new assembly. Here is the new headlight assembly. I'm assuming you pronounce that a canine, and it seems like it's a pretty good knockoff replacement. There are millimeters of difference between the connections for the bolts, both to the bracket and to the vehicle, but it does fit on, and the headlights point where you want them to go, so it wasn't difficult to fit this back in. The assembly bulbs and their fixtures did go in just a little bit harder than on the original headlight assembly, but they all fit and they all anchored well, and this is ready to go back on the Pilot. The Akanai headlight assembly did come with a nice little plastic protective cover on the front of the assembly that allowed me to work with it easily without fear of scratching the new face of the headlight. Overall, I would say that this headlight assembly, it's not perfect, it's not an exact replacement, but it is good enough. The work to replace it was easy to moderate. The only time that I really felt like I needed more than one person to help me was to put the clip back on, and you'll see in that video that probably advisable to have two people doing that because of the sensor and the fog light wires, that it would be possible to tear them or overstretch them when you put it back in. So only at one point did I actually need a little bit of help. So there you get a nice view of the new headlight assembly, and I'm putting the clip back on. And I suppose I could have done this by myself by maybe putting a bolt in the top of the clip, but it just seemed to be a little bit more mobile and quickly able to attach those wires back to the fog light and the bumper sensor with another person holding it, just to stabilize it while I had a little bit more mobility of the clip to get in there and properly fasten. I'm putting on the finishing touches here, putting the final plastic covers back in around the radiator and reconnecting the induction cowl, and it is just about ready to go here. One of the signs I use that this has been successful is that I didn't have any parts left over when I got done. So here is the final look. There's a nice contrast between the black, the silver, and the white. I like it. It does have a little bit of non-functioning aggressive styling to it, but I actually do like that look. So with that little look to the front of the Pilot there, I really do like it. I like it for two reasons. It kind of is a dark out type look, And the other reason is because they were so cheap on Amazon compared to Honda assemblies that you would purchase from Honda. I think they were $165, and frankly, it was my birthday, and I got $100 from my mother-in-law and $50 from my employer, so I only had to pay $15 for these babies. Not a bad deal. Did I mention in previous videos that I am a serious cheapo? Hey, thanks for joining me for another episode of Eric's Camping Adventures. Smash that subscribe button and come back for some more videos. Catch you later.